Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where I'm a little bit annoyed, not with the game, but with NVIDIA Shadowplay, which I know you may be like, oh, I'm switching this video off immediately. No, please don't do that. So basically what happened was there's a bug in Shadowplay where the recordings will stop immediately after you press record. And it's quite hard to spot because the overlay isn't consistent. Normally you get a little button down the bottom right, but you don't always, especially if you've all tabbed out. And I checked that everything, microphone was set up and all the rest of it, but I missed a battle. And it was actually an interesting one. And that is why I'm on the fleet screen, because we have another Yoko under construction, because one of our Meiji class ships, the Shishima, I think it was, lost in a one-on-one fight against a Russian heavy cruiser. Those Russian heavy cruisers are really proving tricky for our older heavy cruisers to deal with. And I'm really hoping that either the Yoko or the Akka is going to run into one so that I can see if they're any good. And if they're not, then we're going to have to do some redesigns. Because those things are being a bit of a pain. You can see Russia's actually winning. They've got more victory points than I do. We do have two battles to look at. Three of these are the nasty ones. These America class. Now against Musashi, and they're not going to last very long, but I am curious to see how the Akka does against them. And then here we have a couple of. Okay, that one's not interesting at all. I'll probably skip this one, but this one is potentially interesting. So let's load the battle up. Okay, welcome back. Shadowplay is still being really weird with me. It just stopped right as I was in the middle of a mid-sentence. Fortunately, you didn't miss anything, and I caught it, but yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. I've tried changing where it records the files to, see if that fixes it. But it is pissing me off. Because... well, I was about to say, I'm kind of hoping in this recording session to get the Japanese campaign, if not finished, at least close to finishing, because, well, it's more or less over at this point. Sad though that is, I have really enjoyed playing as Japan. Now, these cruisers might just be running off. And as well, in the first little bit of the video, you maybe heard that my voice sounds really weird because Shadowplay had randomly changed what microphone it was picking up. So, yeah. Streamer problems. I am keenly aware that these are streamer only problems, and I apologise for complaining about them to you, the viewers, but I need someone to vent to. Now Akka seems to be doing a little bit better here. She is tougher and faster. She has that increased layering, whereas the other heavy cruisers only have simple layering. And yeah, she's just handling it a bit better. Those 4-inch guns also handy for layering on a little bit of fire damage. Okay, so I do think the Yokos can compete. That is really good to know. Probably have some torpedoes headed our way though. Yeah, she's better able to resist the damage, the Akka. Right, in that case, I'll just do the simple thing of, if I lose a cruiser, I mean, hopefully I don't lose cruisers, but if I do, oh, there we go. And that's just to prove it wasn't the 18s from us actually doing the damage, because when they hit, they really, really hit. But it's a real shame that you didn't get to see the battle where the AI actually pulled out a victory. And it was an honest victory. It was a one-on-one cruiser. I had a destroyer as well. They had 4 transports. I sunk the 4 transports, but they sunk my cruiser. And it was not easily, but you know, I wasn't stupid either. I was trying to keep them at a distance, trying to get away after I sunk the transports. But yeah, they got me. These things are actually quite good. Oh, until they're hit by an 18-inch shell, of course. Kind of going in the wrong direction. I do want to finish it off if I can. Yeah, the Yokos, like the Aki here, they're able to score more hits at long range, just because they have better tower and better base stats, which really helps get those early deck hits. Yeah, I wasn't seeing any hits like that. That 158 flooding hit should do an awful lot more than you think, because the flooding damage right in the center of the ship really, really hurts the fighting ability of the enemy. Blown off their torpedoes as well. If you look at the damage numbers, yeah, those 18s did a lot, but the 8s are definitely doing a lot too. And there we go. So yeah, I think the Yokos are a good, you know, they're an okay response to those Russian cruisers. Welcome back. I've reinstalled my drivers, as you do. I think it might have been a Windows setting as well, where what was happening was it was quitting out whenever the game was changing scenes. So whenever the game was loading into the battle or loading back into the campaign from a battle, that is when it was stopping. And I'm just wondering if there's some weird copy protection Windows nonsense. I thought, oh, maybe it's a background app, like my web browser's open or something. Nope, not that. So I just want to see if it happens again. So I'm just quickly going to obliterate this poor unfortunate Chinese transport. I can't be bothered chasing the cruiser. I'm going to end the battle. And I reckon if I fixed it, then when I press exit, there shouldn't be a cut. Oh. Oh. The game's going to crash instead. No, it's not. Please don't. Dreadnoughts, I love you. Please don't crash. That would just be so annoying. Yeah. Good Dreadnoughts. No crashing. And the recording continues. Okay, so yeah, that was fun. Windows had enabled HDR, and that had broken everything. That's fun. Anyway, yes, I know, Millie. So annoying. I am. Well, I don't even know how long this episode is going to be at this point. What is it, Millie? Might be someone at my door. Gonna go check. Gonna go calm Millie down, and I'll be back in a second. Oh, welcome back. We have some fights, and hopefully no more recording issues, including a Russian battleship, which is actually in action once more. Okay, let's go. And does the recording magically stop? No. No. So I should still have HDR on my display. So I don't know if the recording is coming out for you in HDR. Hopefully it is. But Windows HDR mode, the software setting, is buggered and interferes with the recording, which is just lovely. That's just what you want. What a good idea that was, Microsoft. Jesus fucking Christ. Genuinely, like, I use Windows for my work, pretty much, and playing games. Oh, that's a new design, Russia. What is this? Oh, hello. I must say, I kind of love it. Look at this thing. Double super far, well, I'd call it an AB double N, but with an X on the back. That is a very cool looking ship. I'm not sure it's the best layout I've ever seen, because, you know, they've got 8 guns forward, which is pretty cool, but they can't all fire directly forwards. But it certainly has something about it. I like it. I think using triples on the front probably would have been a better bet. Couple of hits. Whoa, 64% chance to hit. At 19 kilometers? Bloody hell. That's quite the... Yeah, you're getting way too close to hope. Launch some torps at it, though. That's quite the hit rate. Oh, they hit Destroyer with the 8.9s. Nasty. Couple of flooding hits. Oh, they're actually able to hit us back. Amazing. Bit of damage to A turret. What's their armor like? Oh, it's fucking abysmal. Load the HE. Yeah, it's cool looking, but that is terrible quality armor. We're over penetrating it. Yeah, just fire the HE at it. There you go. I think we're overpenning even with the HE shells. This is dreadful armor quality. Huge fires. So disappointing. I do still think there's an overflow problem with penetration though. Devs, please, please, please fix the overflows in the game. Like, look, getting partial pens, that should not be happening. Come back to the HE. It's also because I'm firing into their deck. I also think, I've been thinking about penetration. Currently the game uses two different values, belt and deck pen. I would like to see them move to a unified pen model, so that the shells just have a pen value at a certain range. Because obviously, you know, their penetration value drops off with range because the shells are slowing down. But I think a more effective way of doing it would be to have the game reporting a single value and the range drop off, and the likely angle that it's going to hit a ship. So, or actually better yet, the percentage chance that it hits a belt or a deck. And it then uses the same pen figure, depending on whether it hits the belt or the deck, and then takes the angle into account and all the rest of it, which I know the game does already, but I don't think weapons should have separate deck and belt penetration stats. So, for instance, in that situation where you had a battleship kind of rolling over, like, and you're firing at the deck, you should just be able to go right through it, because it's the same as hitting the belt. Like, deck armor isn't magically better, but it doesn't need to be as thick, because it tends to get hit at a fairly oblique angle, or if it is getting hit at a angle closer to 90 degrees, then the shell, by the very nature of it, is going to be going much, much slower, because it's going in a really high arc. So, yeah, I think the penetration system does need a once over. It's also very counterintuitive for players. Like, the number of times I get comments when I'm building a ship, and I'm talking about penetration, and I'm talking about and that's about this in pen on an actual ship. People don't realise that you have to convert them. So this 5-inch gun, for instance, says it can go through 40 inches of armour at 1,000 metres. It doesn't mean that. It means it can go through 40 inches base, 39.7 technically. But that is when you divide by the armour quality, which is about 150% on most ships late game, is 16 inches. And that's the maximum pen. So, what I think would be better is if the game said, right, well, your absolute best maximum pen against the current average armor quality, or whatever, or an armor quality selector or something, but against, your average 150% quality boost, which is typical for the 30s. That's 16 inch, and then put 16 inch as your max pen for your AP shell, and then instead of this table, have a table that shows you, well, you're losing so much percentage on your max pen as you go out in range, and your chance of hitting the belt or the deck. I know that also depends on ship, of course, but so you could maybe do angle instead. Angle that it's going to be coming in at certain ranges. So obviously, if it's coming in at 45 degrees, then 45 degrees like this, it's probably going to be hitting the deck. It's coming in at 10 degrees, then it's probably going to be hitting belt. And if it does hit deck, then oh well, I got a deck hit, but I'm coming in at 10 degrees. It's probably going to ricochet off. Or conversely, if I've got a really high angle and it hits the belt, well, it's probably going to ricochet off or not go through, because the armor is thicker. And I think that would be better. So you're not really changing the. Well, I would like it if the penetration was a little bit more consistent, I will be honest. Yeah, a single penetration value. So that, if you are shooting at deck armor, but the deck armor is, like this, and your shells are coming in like this, that's a very good angle to be hitting the deck at. It's going to be 80 degrees, 70 degrees, something like that you're hitting the deck at. So you're pretty much hitting it bang on, with direct high velocity shells, because you're at close range. They should go right through. But at the moment it doesn't work that way, because the game says, oh, you're close, so your deck penetration is bad. But that only works if the ship is stable. Like, it doesn't take a tilting deck into account. And I think, a unified penetration figure would be good. Okay, well, we've got the couple of Quongos, a couple of Taizais. They found another one of these absolutely trash tier Chinese battleships to deal with. And yes, I am convinced that the game has severe problems with overflow. I think a lot of the bugs are caused by numbers going too high and going out of range, and then being impossible for the game to kind of understand properly, and then you get problems. So what was one recently? The Nan error on victory points. There was another one as well. I've forgotten what it was. Oh, the victory point swapping bug. I'm pretty sure the target lock bug was caused by that. I think the light speed bug is caused by it as well. Yeah, I don't know how the game handles numbers, but I very strongly suspect there's overflows happening. Anyway, shouldn't take too long to eliminate this Chinese ship. We have 14 and 12-inch guns working her over. But yeah, I'm really hacked off with Nvidia a hell of a lot more than I am with the game at the moment. No, not even Nvidia. It's bloody Microsoft with their stupid ass setting that obviously there was a Windows update and decided to turn it on. And I wouldn't mind the setting being on, but not if it breaks everything. That is not good. And I'm on a desktop, so I can't complain about Windows more than standby. But that is also terrible. And before you jump into the comments and say, "Oh, use Steam OS," I probably would if I just played games. But because I need to, you know, stream, record. Now doing a bit more in the way of editing. Yeah, that's not practical. It needs to be Windows. I'm not trying to deal with compatibility problems with Linux. Gotcha. Burnt to a crisp. Right, who's next? Who's next? we have a destroyer to go and murder. All right. Chance for one of the Kojimas to actually do something. But yeah, I'm really sad that I actually lost a battle, fair and square, 1-on-1. Heavy cruiser versus heavy cruiser, totally fair fight. Admittedly, the Russian ones are more expensive, but totally fair fight that I genuinely lost against the AI and was recording and commenting on. Most interesting content of the campaign for ages, and yeah, it's gone. Because I'm not doing these live on Twitch. I can't pull it off the Twitch stream. Terrible quality though that is. It is so frustrating. So frustrating. Oh dear me. So I hope you haven't minded me moaning my way through it too much. Everything seems to be working fine just now. By the way, with Twitch, I have had people asking, well, I haven't seen you on Twitch lately. Have you stopped streaming? No. It is certainly my intention to continue doing it. I just haven't been able to. And that's simply because long-term viewers of the channel know I have long COVID. I'm undergoing treatment in a hyperbaric chamber for that, and unfortunately that is on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening, which is when I would normally stream. And you know, the treatments are definitely helping, but you know, it means I have to travel down to Dundee to get them, and traveling in a car is tiring. Doing anything is tiring. So yeah, it's that's why you haven't seen streams, but it does let me edit the videos a little bit more easily and cut out a lot of the gumph. So I hope you don't mind too much, and I hope to see you again soon for the next episode. Bye for now.